Nothing fits on this wide thumb. The biggest size of the tip is still too small to cover it. Same thing with dual forms. It's impossible to find the right size unless you order a special kit of dual forms that include an extended range of sizes, and we're going to use it today to fix my client's wide thumb.
This is the set we did last time. We used soft gel tips, and on the thumb I used regular forms. So it worked well, but now it's time to take it off, and we are going to try a different shape today, square, because it's considered that for wide nails, square shape is not the best option, but I think it really depends on how you create it. By the way, if you would like to see the video with this design, I also have it on my channel. I will leave the link down below. I used Model 1's gel polishes, and even though soft gel tips as well as gel polish, these are soak-off product, so we could use acetone to soak them off, but I prefer using electric nail file because it's so much faster, and sometimes I don't remove the product all the way to the nail plate. I leave a thin layer, and if it's not lifting, then we can just keep it there and proceed with new extensions. Usually I file off the free edge first, then I file off the color on the top and work on the remaining product. Recently I received an interesting question in the comments regarding product removal. Is it safe to use carbide bead to remove the product all the way to the nail plate? And this is what I normally do. So yes, there is a way to do it without damaging the nail, but you need to have a certain skill and you really need to practice it first. So if you're just getting started, I will highly recommend you to use carbide bead to remove the product, and once you have a little product remaining, you can switch to the hand file, or you can use to carbide bead too, but with a softer abrasive, let's say with red abrasive mark. Carbide beads are not designed to work on the natural nail plate, so if you will file the natural nail with it, it is going to be damaged pretty quickly. So if you're not sure, if you cannot quickly determine whether it's a product or the nail, it's better not to risk it. Or there is another way, you can soak off the rest, which is going to take probably about 5 minutes because now the layer is so thin. Then we proceed to the nail prep, and I push back the cuticles with orange wood stick. It's been 4 weeks since we did this last set, and looks like she barely has some new cuticles. And this is very deceiving because yes, visually we don't see much dry tissue, so looks like we don't really need to clean much, but we definitely have some on the nail plate because it's transparent. We cannot really see it, but once I start pushing it back, you see now we see this white residue, and this is the one we're going to clean. I switched to metallic pusher to work on the thumb because on this one the cuticle is more sticky, so I just need a little more force to push it back, but still I try to be extra careful. And then I proceed to dry manicure with electric nail file. Diamond flame shaped bead with red abrasive mark. The speed is about 19,000 rotations per minute. In most of my videos I mention the speed and the rotation because it's so important, but you need to understand that there is no universal recipe, like you need to use this particular speed all the time. It's not going to work because we all have different skin types and different cuticle types. And if you would like to learn more about it, I have online class. It's called E-File 101 and is perfect for beginners because you will learn product removal, dry manicure, and how to work with electric nail file in general. We will practice on tips, on eggs, and on yourself, and only after that we're going to practice on the models. You can join from any part of the world. You don't need to be licensed to take the class, and if you're interested, I will leave the link down below so you can learn more about it and join. Meanwhile, I switched to reverse mode, and working on the opposite side of the nail, the speed remains the same, 19,000 rotations per minute. I'm pushing back the cuticles, I'm cleaning the sidewalls, and also I push back the cuticles even more, so we are going to trim them, or maybe we won't really need it because she doesn't have that much dry tissue on the top. The most important and the most challenging at the same time part of the nail prep is that you need to clean this spreading cuticle from the nail plate without damaging it or overfiling it. So the trick is you don't need to press towards the nail plate. It should always be a gentle touch. But it's okay to press a little bit onto the skin as long as you're using suitable speed and drill bit. There are so many tutorials on social media, on the internet about dry manicure, and I think this is great because I constantly receive messages, feedback from you guys that you'll learn so much from me just by watching my channel. But on the other hand, I think this gives a little trouble to some of the beginners because once you see the video, it seems so easy, right? You just take the drill bit, you clean it, but it really requires so much practice because unlike working with the product, let's say if you're doing fill or product removal, you're dealing with the product. So even if you do something wrong, it's not that big of a deal because it's still the product. But when doing dry manicure, we're working with naked nails. And if we overfile them, if we damage them, now this is going to be a problem. So I encourage you guys to focus on understanding how electric nail file works. You need to feel the handpiece, the drill bits, and only after that proceed to learn dry manicure because this is quite an advanced technique, and even though it may look easy when you watch it on the video, you still need to learn for it. It's been 4 weeks, so now the free edge of the natural nails is quite long and I'm going to file it shorter. I recommend you to do it at all times because, come on, we don't need this part of the nail underneath. It's not going to look tidy, so it's better to make it as short as possible. Plus, we are about to use dual forms, and for dual forms, the length of the free edge doesn't matter at all. Now I need to prep this nail too, and this is exactly the same as how we did the prep for the rest of the nails, but there is a little difference, which happens regardless if the nail is ultra wide or it's regular, because some of us may have a different type of cuticle on certain nails. This client has regular and normal skin and cuticle types on all of her nails except for this one. On this one, this is more like a spreading type, which means it's more sticky. It gets stuck to nail plate more than usual, so we need to be careful when pushing it back first and when doing dry manicure too. I also need to be careful when cleaning the sidewalls. Just like with any type of the nails, we need to make sure that the surface of the nail plate is clean. We don't have any remaining cuticles, because if we do and apply the product on top, it is going to work like a sponge. It is going to absorb all the moisture, all the oils from the skin and inject them under the product, and it is going to lift. So make sure this is not happening. Use dust collector and a special brush to clean the dust when you're working, because you're supposed to see every single detail, because when it's all dusty, oh my god, this is a nightmare because we cannot even understand what is the area we're working on. When you just did product removal and about to do new extensions, normally we already don't have any surface shine on the nail, but we also have this outgrown part that is shiny, so we need to take care of that. I usually use 180 grit file. Make sure that you're not missing the spots, especially in the sidewalls deep in the grooves, because sometimes you can just not notice them, and these parts are so important. But we're not supposed to file the nail plate. We're not supposed to make it thinner. It should look like this. Regular nails, just slightly matte instead of glossy. Biggest sizes of soft gel tips do not fit. As you can see, they're more narrow than the nail, so there is no way we can use them.
I came across this kit by Nail Pop that includes 5 different shapes of dual forms. So we have different style of square, traditional, curved one. We also have Russian almond or pipe shape. We have traditional almond, deep C-curve square. And what's also interesting about these forms is that they're colorful. I think this is the first time I've seen dual forms that are not transparent, which honestly gives me a little concern if the product is going to cure through the color. Now let's take a look at the sizes. So they have 15 sizes for each shape. Let's just compare. So just so you know, I sometimes struggle with finding the right fit for my thumbs because some brands of tips, even their biggest size is too small for me. But with these ones, I don't think it's going to be an issue because look at this. The biggest size 0, it's like almost twice bigger than my thumb. So it is definitely going to cover most of clients' needs. And the same thing with the other shapes. Like the biggest size 0 is just way too big for my thumb. I'm surprised that this is not a mainstream product yet because there are so many people with different sizes and shapes of the nails, and most dual form kits that are out there, they're designed only to fit standard sizes. Same thing goes to the smallest ones. Now check out number 14. Oh my god, it's so tiny, and compare it to my pinky nail, which is way smaller than this. I had this client once and her nails were so tiny, like my brush was like 10 times bigger than them. So I think this is going to be the perfect fit.
Oh my god, the biggest size of this shape is even bigger than her nail. Now this one, number 2, is probably the perfect fit, but I really like the other kind with a deeper C-curve, so let's try the blue one, and this one is also the perfect fit, and this is not the largest size, by the way. I recommend you to choose the proper sizes of the dual forms before applying any prep products. So once you do, we apply dehydrator, let dry, and non-acid primer. Do not apply too much. It's better to do a super thin layer and do not touch the skin. And then we apply base coat and cure it in LED for 30 seconds. I will use white polygel with a shimmer, and let's pick it up right from the jar into the dual form. Now I'm going to do some product application with my brush and using a little bit of alcohol so the product will not stick. And when doing square shape, we need to make sure that we are applying product all the way to the sidewalls. With this color, it is so convenient because it's dark blue and we have white product, so now I can clearly see if there's any spot that I'm missing. Technically, we are doing reverse sculpting now, so we need to have little product near the cuticle, along the sidewalls, and a little more in the center, exactly the same way as you would sculpt the nails using regular forms. Now apply it on the nail, and I will use the help of my client to freeze cure it with a small lamp because I want it to stay at exact same spot. And then I proceed doing the same on the rest of the nails, and I'm using regular dual forms because I don't have any issues with the sizes for them. I had some concerns using these colorful forms because blue color is quite dark, and unfortunately it worked exactly how I thought. It requires way longer curing time because UV light works great when it's curing through something transparent, but this color is not transparent, as you can see, so we had to cure it extra time, which in my opinion is okay. I mean, if it's just one nail, but if you're doing a regular service, it is going to add up quite a lot of time. Now this is what we have after applying dual forms, and then I take ceramic bead and I'm going to get rid of this extra product along the sidewalls and near the cuticles. This process is so easy and quick. Usually it doesn't take more than 10 minutes. You need to make sure that you file off this extra product that's squeezed through the dual form, and then I'm going to finish the sculpting with hard gel on top. I think it is a great idea for the product that they did these dual forms with a wider range of sizes, so now people can finally find the sizes that are going to fit for extra wide nails as well as for ultra small nails. But I only have one concern regarding the color. They're so dark, so I'm really not sure if it's actually fully cured inside or not. And there's no way to tell unless we file off the nail, so that's definitely what I'm going to do when she comes back for a fill. Then I'm going to use a hand file and make sure that the sidewalls are on point as well as the free edge, and make sure that the length is matching on each nail. So later I'm not going to do any filing and shaping anymore. We only do this one time because time is precious. They look so cute now, but keep in mind that there is no product near the cuticle and we need to finish sculpting and build the apex. So I'm going to use HEMA Free Builder Gel by Madame Glam. This is pink color with the slight shimmer. So I add it mostly near the cuticle and then spread towards the free edge. So the fade is going to be seamless and we will have this beautiful baby boomer manicure. I buffed the product on some nails and then we seal it with a glossy top coat. Let me guys know what do you think, and have you ever seen the product with a wider range of sizes? Please leave a comment and let me know what other brands offer them, because I would love to give them a try. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!